Hey guys, this is MJ. Today we're going to be decoupaging some bunnies. So we're going to use 3/4 inch wood and we're going to decoupage both sides. Now remember, if you've seen the other video that I've made, we made these same bunny shapes. I do have a template for this. We made these same bunny shapes and I used stenciling with joint compound. And we did those. So if you are interested in making one of those, you can go watch one of our videos. But today we're going to be decoupaging. We're using the same template. So I have this bunny rabbit, and I just had it cut out of wood. You follow the pattern. We're going to decoupage it, and then we're going to stain it, and we're going to make it look rustic. Now on the papers, I'll have all of these in the links below. They're from Hobby Lobby. We're going to do both sides. I've decided to do one side with flowers and the other side with just a pattern. So I'm doing kind of green flowers with a green pattern, and then I'm doing blue flowers with a blue pattern. I like doing two rabbits because I just think they're cute together. So kind of choose what papers you want to use to decoupage, and that's totally up to you. But the one thing I will say is, for me, I like to have my bunnies facing each other. So I want to do a flowered pattern on the same side when they're facing each other, and then the pattern side on the other when they're facing each other. And you can interchange these, which is great, and that's kind of why I do them two-sided. And you'll see that as we're making them. So I've drawn the outline of the bunny rabbit on both sheets of paper. Now remember too, we've got opposite sides here. So we're doing one side with one pattern, the other side with the other pattern. So make sure that you pay attention to that because you don't want to make that mistake. And when you are drawing on these, make sure you're drawing on the side that doesn't have the pattern. Now I am going to use these scissors. I like the little decorations on the side, the little pattern, which is cute. It just adds a little extra flair for me. It's not so plain looking. It just makes it look prettier. You do not have to do that, but I like to. So we're going to set this one bunny aside, and I'm just going to show you how to do it on one bunny, but I'm basically going to have both of them by the time we're through. So get your paper ready. Look at your outline. Now on the outline, you want to cut your paper inside the lines. Inside the lines. We're doing that, you'll understand why as we cut this out. So we want some of the wood exposed is what's going on. So cut inside the lines with the whole pattern. Okay, we pretty much have it all done. Now on me, I did the outline on the side, so make sure that you're cutting all the edges because you want the bottom part cut as well. So just follow that all the way around. And that's pretty much it. You got your cute little bunny. Now the main thing you want to do this every single time, however many bunnies you make. Place it on the piece of wood, make sure that your wood is exposed. See how I want that wood exposed? Because we're going to stain that, and that's what's going to make it rustic looking. So make sure you're exposed all the way around, and if you're not, you're going to have to go back. So you can see where I kind of have some places that I need to trim some. Make sure too, when you're cutting it, you're flipping it over because you want that same pattern of your scissors to follow the same pattern. You don't want it to be opposite. It does make a difference. You don't think it does, but it does. So just take your time, find the little nooks and crannies. We're going to do this on both sides of the bunny rabbit. And then I'll have to do it on all four sides because I've got two bunnies that I'm working with. So this takes a little bit more time, but just make sure that you do it. And make sure, like I said, you are placing the paper every single time on the bunny rabbit. So you're placing it on the wood to make sure that you have what you need. You've got all that wood exposed where you need it. Okay, now see how I've got all my edges done? I still have little pieces here and there. This is the part that's going to be a little, it might take a little more time, but you need to make sure you get it right because you're going to regret it later, especially if you keep these forever. The great thing about these is they last, they'll be around for years or forever, the rest of your life. There's no reason why these should go bad. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. See how we've got most of that? We're seeing all that. We've got all the edges exposed, and that's kind of what I'm looking for. So, tweak it as much as you need, and then make sure you've got all that taken care of before you move on to the next step, because we'll be using the Mod Podge and gluing it on. Okay, that looks pretty good. I like this. So we're going to do this to all 4 sides. Now we are ready to apply the Mod Podge. I've already got all 4 of my sides done. The Mod Podge is easy to put on. Just take out an old paintbrush. Mine's got a longer handle because I'm almost out of the glue. I've got my spray or my water bottle beside me because each paper is different. This is a little bit more thin. I still want to wet it down some because that just helps me to apply it a little bit better. That's totally up to you if you don't want to do that. I prefer it. It just seems to adhere better for me. So I'm just going to get ready and apply this. Just flip it over, add the Mod Podge. I use just a little bit of that spray water. And you don't have to use a lot because remember, you do want to be careful. You don't want to tear it. This is a little more flimsy than what I've used before. I've got one that's really thick that you can pretty much do anything with and doesn't damage. If you're not careful, you will rip the paper and then you'll have to start all over again. So just be careful on this step. Take your time. Go ahead and make sure that you attach the glue all over. Spread it all over the edges. Make sure you get the edges because you'll regret it later if you don't. So just take your time and get it all over. And one thing too, when you put the glue on, once you're done, kind of go back and just kind of spread it evenly because that helps you not to have so many bubbles too. Or any spots where you have the glue, you're just going to smash it down. So be gentle with it because it's kind of flimsy. Now this part you need to be careful with. Place it with your eye. So kind of look with your eye kind of where it needs to lay. Do not press it down. Do not press it down until you have it laying exactly where you want it. Don't attach it anywhere until you're sure. Once you have it laid down, then start pressing it down. And just gently start spreading it out, get all the bubbles out, and placing it where it goes. This is its new home. Alright, I like to put some glue all around the edges when I'm done laying whatever piece I'm working on. I just put extra glue and I go all the way around the edge, and then I'm just going to apply it with my finger, and that helps it so that there aren't any edges that kind of eventually curl up because there's not enough glue around them. You have that taken care of already, so you don't have to do this again. So I'm using a little bit of water because I want my fingers to slide across the paper. I don't want it to push on the paper. You want it to slide so that it doesn't rip the paper. So be gentle with this. Gentle, but get the air bubbles out. Spread it. Make sure you have all your corners attached, and that's pretty much it. Now we're going to do this with both sides. I'm going to do it with all 4 sides because again I have the 2 bunny rabbits. So just kind of gently take your time. I'm pushing out the air bubbles. And look at it the different ways in the light because you'll see air bubbles in one direction that you might not see in another. Alright, we're going to do it to the other side, and then I'll be applying it to the other rabbit. Isn't that cute? There's a few air bubbles. We'll get those out. But isn't it cute? I like it. It's pretty cute. Okay, I am outside today because I don't want the smelly stain up in my room upstairs. So we're going to apply the stain, and I'm going to show you how. We have the 2 different rabbits, and you're basically going to do the same thing with each one. So I am using Minwax. It's water-based stain. Now this is a color wash, so it's barnwood is what it's called, barnwood. I like this because it actually brings out, as it dries, it brings out some of the texture and the grain of the wood, which I think is totally cool. So I really like this effect. It's one of their newer stains that they've come out with, and it's kind of fun to work with. I'm going to use a Q-tip to get into the crevices. So this has a lot of nooks and crannies to work with. So just use that Q-tip, get into the crevices, and I'm going to do that with both the bunny rabbits since I've got my Q-tip in my hand. Okay, now this isn't quite getting into the crevice because it's just the Q-tip's too thick. So I am getting out my little paintbrush, and I am getting into that crevice a little bit better. So use whatever works for you, but in this particular one, especially, let's see how close those ears are together. This paintbrush is working better for me. So just do that with both bunnies. All right, now I'm going to use my trusty sock. You guys know how much I like to use old socks for stain. So you're basically going to just apply this stain. I like to do the outer edges first. So go around the outer edge of the entire bunny and apply the stain and just cover all the areas. All right, now we're going along the outer edges. So I get a little bit of the paper. See how I'm just going on the outer edge? You don't have to make it look pretty right now. Just add your stain all along the outer edge. You're touching the wood and a little bit of the paper. Doesn't matter if you make a mess, you're gonna wipe it off anyway. So see how I've done that? Now I'm taking the dry part of the sock that doesn't have stain, I'm pushing outward. See how I'm going outward? Because I don't want the middle of it to have a bunch of stain on it if I don't, if I don't need it to have it there. And see how there's excess? I take that dry part and I wipe off all the excess that I can. And remember too, I do want to mention, the decoupage, you want it to dry for a day because you don't want to do this when it's damp. So make sure that you dry. But isn't that cute? It looks rustic. I missed a couple spots, so kind of go back and eye your whole rabbit and make sure that you didn't miss anything because we are human after all. And then I'm going to do this with both bunny rabbits, and we're going to do it to both sides. Same exact technique. Okay, isn't that cute? I like it. I like this rustic look. It's so much fun. So I've already done the other bunny rabbit. He's ready to go too. So we will go back upstairs, people. All right, this is the finishing touch. So I have finished one so you can see what it looks like. I have the twine that I like to put around the neck, and then I have the cute little rabbit's tail. I love it. It's so fluffy and soft. So I'm going to show you how to do both of these things, and it's pretty easy. Now with the twine, I like to use this really thin twine. It's pretty simple, 4 strands. I like to do 4 strands. And then on that, I just make it long enough for whatever project I'm doing to tie around and make a bow and make sure that I have enough, however long I want the loops or the strings to dangle. So just kind of, you'll have to figure that out yourself on the different projects that you do. Just make a simple bow. And then I take my scissors. Now on the bow, I want it to look more full, so I go like 4 different lengths. I go short, long, medium, and then long again. Short, long, medium, and long. And that just makes it look more full, and then as gravity takes its toll, it kind of goes downward and fills out, and it looks really cute. You can do it how you want, but that I've just found looks cute to me. And then I fluff up the loops, make them more into a bow shape. Now the cute thing about this is that you can do this bow on both sides. So you're just gonna basically twist it around. If you feel like a flowery day, use the flower side. If you feel like a pattern day, turn it around to the other side. So cute. All right, so this is what we're doing. We're gonna make a tail. So wrap it around your finger once, twice. Cut it with the scissors. Now keep that pinched. That's really important to keep that pinched. And then cut about 6 to 8 inches of the yarn. And you're just gonna lay it down, lay it across the pinched area, and you're gonna tie that string where that pinched area is. Hold it snug, tie it tight. All right, you got it tied once, then you're just gonna tie it again and knot it. And that's pretty much it. Now those longer strands that we have, we're gonna just hold on to for now while we're making this tail. So take your scissors, there's a couple loops on each side. You're just gonna cut through all the loops that you feel with the scissors. Cut through the loops. It's gonna look kind of funky at first and you're gonna think, what the crap have I done? But it will make a cute tail, I promise. It's really messy, so just kind of fluff out the excess. And then you're just gonna take your scissors and you're gonna start forming a ball. Don't overcut because you're gonna have to start all over again if you cut too much. So just slowly start forming it, slowly start cutting to where it starts shaping into a ball. Fluff it when you need to. Okay, now form it how you want until you got it exactly the way that you want it. Then you're going to cut those 2 strands that you've been holding on to. we're ready to cut those. So just cut those off. And then where that knot is, you'll kind of feel that. That's where you're going to put the part of the hot wax. And that's where we're going to attach it to its butt. You can figure out where you want it on the butt. I kind of like it to where it's just close towards the bottom, but it's not touching when it's standing up. So kind of pay attention to that and then just let it cool. Fluff it some more until you get it cute. You might miss some spots or see some spots that need trimming, and that's fine. We are almost done, people. Just trim it to your liking, but remember, like I said, don't over trim. Got a little extra glue going on there. So get rid of any glue, you don't want that to show. But these are so cute. So the reason why I like these bunny rabbits is I think it's just more bang for your buck. You're gonna do both sides, and you can change it so it can be in different parts of your room or the different colors, and you can put whatever colors you want on yours. But see, isn't that cute? So I like the 2 floral sides and then the 2 pattern sides. And you got your fluffy little tails, and they're just cute together. I really like them. So you can choose. You either have standing, laying, whatever. And then if you decide, you can always change that rope around the neck, the little bow. There you go. You got 2 sides. I hope you guys enjoy this, and I hope when you make yours, you have fun.